I'll keep it simple, so because I think it's easier with all the questions that are being asked. I know that people have a lot of questions. We are staying at the Crown Plaza Hotel. The Hyatt, which will be the headquarters hotel, is about a block from where we're at. The convention center is right behind the Hyatt, so all the daily caucuses, all the training sessions are literally within a 5-minute walk every day. So those of you that want to attend they have the Women's Caucus, Veterans Caucus, World Caucus, all the minority caucuses will be there. So we're right there. That's where the main event will be on Sunday night, and that's where all the caucuses are during the day. For those of you worried what is my spouse going to do, my kids, or everyone else, we are literally a block off 16th Street. 16th Street is kind of the central of Denver. They have a trolley system that runs up and down. There's restaurants. There's a small little mall. There's a theater. They have a little UA8 there, so they have movies. So everything right there for your spouse or your partner or whoever else grows up with you, if there's someone growing up with you, there's something for them to do during the day while you're at the training or doing something else. Our breakfast will be held every morning from 7:30 in the morning till roughly 9:30, depending on the guest speaker that we have coming in that day. You will be required to sign for your credentials every morning. You cannot send your wife, you can't send your friend, you can't. I will be required, and Josh and Beth and I will work on this. We will require your signature on that line saying you received your daily credential. That credential is probably the most important thing to you throughout the day. That gets you into everything, that gets you onto all the buses to transfer you wherever you need to go. But the most important thing is that credential gets you into the Pepsi Center that night. And that gets you onto the floor. There are 5 different colors of credentials. If I'm talking too fast, just like raise your hand, I'll slow down. There's 5 different colors of credentials. And so the way the Pepsi Center, like any basketball arena, imagine the pit, they have it broken down. You being delegates actually have the best seat in the house, so you'll have a floor pass. That will allow you to go pretty much everywhere onto the floor. They'll have a stage area for all the guest speakers speaking that night. They'll have a stage pass. Your floor pass cannot get you into the stage area, but your floor pass can get you into the guest section behind the area. As Bryon mentioned, there will be a limited amount of guest passes that the state's given out. It's very tight, but I know some of the DNC members get an additional guest pass, so their guests will actually sit kind of like in the back bowl. You're not allowed to go from your guest pass to go onto the floor. So again, it's kind of priority, and these passes, people have kept them, they framed them, they're keepsakes. After I was in Boston for a year, there's a bunch of security that goes into it. No one knows the colors, no one knows the designs. The firm that's made it, they're going to use holograms this year. So everything is very, security lane. So when you do sign for that pass, guard it with your life for that day, because that's the only one you'll get. If you lose it that day, we can't go to DNC credentials and say we lost a pass. It doesn't work that day. So when you sign for it, you put your name on that little sheet. It's your responsibility to have it for the rest of the day. As you come in, whether you're driving in or flying in, we will have everything set up for you when you get to the hotel. Bryon, myself, and Beth, and probably whoever else is out there will welcome you to the hotel. We're going up a couple of days early to make sure all the rooms are taken care of and to see the Packers play. But there's a football game on Sunday night, but we're actually going up on Thursday to make sure everything is set for when all of you get there. Friday. But we're going up a little bit early. We do have an office that will be a New Mexico office, where it'll be a functioning office of the Democratic Party, so there'll be a fax, computers in there. So the Democratic Party will still be functioning on a day-to-day basis, even though they are in Denver. And those of you driving in, as we've gone around asking, we just want to kind of let you know, or let us know what time you'll be arriving, just so we can welcome you. Those of you flying in, within the next couple of days, you'll be getting information on your voucher system. The way the DNCC does it is they'll give everybody a voucher. When you get to the DIA, or the Denver International Airport, they'll have thousands of volunteers throughout the airport guiding you to a bus that will take you from the airport to the Crown Plaza. And then we'll greet you there. When we're done on Friday, we just want to know approximately what time you're leaving so we can put you on the bus. They'll have a voucher system again. We'll get you on the bus Friday, and we'll take you back out to DIA. If there's people coming in on a train, let us know. But for pretty much everyone, because in Boston they have trains, buses, and the airport. Here in Denver, we're mostly looking at what people flying into DIA, because there's some great specials going on for people driving in. Those of you wanting to park, there is parking within the hotel. It's probably going to be roughly, they fill us anywhere from probably $28 to $30 a day. But right outside the hotel, there's 3 parking garages. So if you'd like to go and shop around, maybe find a discount there for those of you driving up, that's what we'll have. As we mentioned, every morning you'll sign for your credentials between 6:30 and 7:30. This will be the only time you get to get your credentials, so those of you that like staying up late, just stay up till 6:30 and just come see us. Don't even bother when you sleep, you know. You can sleep when you get back to New Mexico. Then we'll have a wonderful breakfast where all our state elected officials will speak, and we also have guest speakers coming in. And then we'll have someone that sponsored the breakfast talk a little bit about the company. Then we'll have the daily training sessions, and then as we mentioned, every day there will be a luncheon. Everyone will be allowed to get out and join. Some of the luncheons will be delegates only because they're in smaller restaurants and the venue's kind of hard. So we'll let everyone know whether or not you can bring a spouse with you at that luncheon. And then that evening, right now, the talk is the doors will open up to the Pepsi Center at 4 p.m. with the program beginning at 5. And they're doing this because 2 hours later they want to catch the late news in New York City. So when they do the main speech that night, roughly at 8:30, it's already 10:30 New York time, prime time in New York. And more than likely that will be the schedule also at Invesco Field. Senator Obama will roughly come on probably about 8:30 that night, give his speech, prime time live, and they'll catch it live on the East Coast at 10:30. So that's kind of where we're at as far as logistics. As Bryon mentioned, we'll just start with Sunday. You'll get there and we'll have a state party. They have broken up the parties, roughly 25 parties throughout Denver, 2 or 3 states in every delegation. They decided not to do that this year. They said, let's all have a huge welcoming party, and the money that they've raised for that will actually go for Katrina relief. And it's going to be a celebration of, I think they're calling it 3 years after Katrina, I forget the date. So it's going to be more of a celebration of remembering Katrina. We'll all be there. Then as Bryon mentioned, Union Pacific will have, and they'll have some snacks there. Union Pacific has generously agreed to have a little party for us close to where our hotel is. There's Union Station. It's within walking distance, so we'll go there. They'll have cocktails and some desserts and some drinks and some light hors d'oeuvres. And then that evening there's another celebration at a cigar bar close to our hotel. And that will get you through the first night. So I'm not going to go through everything because then everyone gets starting confused. But when you do get there, you're going to have a nice book that Beth and the staff is working on that has everyone's bio. They'll have a schedule of all the events. They'll have who all the sponsors are. So I just want to get you through Sunday and that Monday morning our breakfast. Our breakfasts are going to be down in the hotel. There's a ballroom downstairs. And so I'm not going to give pass into Wednesday, Thursday, and all that.
But before we go, you're going to send us a letter with information.